So I think it's safe to say that Crystal Dynamics reveal on the Spider-Man suits, which you're more than likely seeing in the background right now, has completely destroyed the internet in the most positive way possible, because let's be honest, I think it's really shocked a lot of us. I know we all had our expectations on the skins in this game and how ultimately they were going to pull this character off. Of course, bear in mind, and I do want to stress this, we have not seen gameplay, so I guess you can see all of this stuff and say it's great, but my expectations personally for the gameplay are high anyway, just based on what they've been doing with the previous characters, and I keep saying it every single video, but I'll say it again. When it comes down to the combat, you just can't fault these guys. They really just pull it off every single time. Now, I want you guys to leave a like on this video if you do genuinely like these suits, and let me know which ones are your favorites. Now, I know a lot of people are also saying that Crystal Dynamics just completely ate up Insomniac Games with these suit designs. Is that a myth? Is that a fact? Let me know what your thoughts are on that in the comment section below. So let's just dive straight into the skins, right? Because I think attention to detail was one of the most popular ones as well, especially with, I believe it was the Noir outfit, which again you'll see in the background, and that was just phenomenal. Again, attention to detail on this is just insane. I think this is probably the best Noir suit we've ever seen, possibly. Don't hold me to that, I'm just going on my experience, so this is definitely the best that I've ever seen in any video game. I genuinely think they've really nailed it with this. Of course, what we do also see is the classic suit, which is inspired by Steve. I think this is the one that had a lot of people questioning certain aspects, i.e. the Spider-Man logo. That was a big thing a couple of days ago, but I think now, having seen all these outfits, it just makes sense. There's nothing out of the ordinary right here. Again, what we do have is another look at the Spider-Man iconic suit, and I think this is a cool one. This right here, which is the Bugle Boy suit, which is also a Crystal Dynamics original, I think is super cool. It's got that aspect. We know, of course, that Peter Parker is straight out of high school in this case, and, well, not high school, it's college, right? So when you take that stuff into account, again, suits and skins, whatever you want to call them, do play that bigger role on how you sort of perceive a character as well. So with the Bugle Boy suit right here, which again is a Crystal Dynamics original, I think they really pulled that one off as well. But one that I know a lot of people are talking about, in fact it's two. So we got this Secret War suits for Spider-Man right here. This is just incredible. I think if I had to say what my favorites are right now, it would be the Secret War suit, the Noir suit. I do like the Bugle Boy, but that would probably be in the top 5 somewhere. But after that is definitely going to be what you're seeing in the background right now as well, which is the Spider-Man Armor MK1 suit. Again, attention to detail is what I'm looking for, and photography in this game, photo mode, whatever you want to call it, that stuff is big, and attention to detail really matters. I honestly believe they turned the dial up with the Black Panther DLC, because that was a prime example as well. Like, if you compare him to the other DLC characters, and if we're talking attention to detail on the skins, it never really was anything shocking. But when we had the Black Panther DLC, that's when we first got to see, like, wow, okay, well, they're exploring different routes now with the skins, but hey, guess what? Take a look at the attention to detail. Now, last but not least, one of my favorites as well is the End of the Earth suit. I think this just looks phenomenal. Now, overall, this is what Spider-Man is launching with. So, with the other DLC skins that will be added, we don't know what they're going to be, but just assuming that this is what we're seeing right now and what we know they're capable of, it's definitely going to be very interesting, to say the least. Now, we know as well with the marketplace, which was a big debate, which, if you didn't know, there are now set fees, which are much lower than what they initially were as well. So that's interesting stuff. Of course, we know they rely heavily on the marketplace, so I guess we can't really argue the fact right now that we have, hey, a free DLC, and then you just got to pay for the skins after that. But these are the ones that are coming for free anyway, as far as that goes. videos. Well, not for free, I'm not going to say 100%, but you get what I mean. It's just exactly like the Black Panther DLC drop. Now, what are your overall thoughts on this? Let me know in the comment section below. Of course, we're just a couple of weeks now until Spider-Man's DLC is going to be releasing, which, if you didn't know, is on November 30th. That is a Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, and we've not seen any gameplay as far as this goes. Now, taking into account that their dev live streams are really big, and it typically happens towards the end of the week, right? So every Friday, more or less, then we know we could possibly be in to see gameplay next Friday. Realistically, we could, however, see it on the 26th, which would be the following Friday. I guess that would kind of be cutting it short in terms of the window, because then, again, literally it's like 4 days, if I'm not mistaken, sorry, after that, where that DLC will be releasing. So, we've seen a trailer, we've now seen the skins, that's all happening in the same week, bear in mind as well. So, I'm going to assume it'll be gameplay next week, and then maybe just a few more teasers until November the 30th. But overall, I'm really excited for this DLC. I know we all have that fear in the back of our heads on what happens after this point. One thing that I did mention in my previous video, if you didn't watch that, I'd highly recommend you guys check that one out after. But what I was saying is, we know that this DLC character isn't coming with his own individual story, like a actual, I guess, story mode, line, whatever you want to call it. So in terms of how he's being implemented and who you get a gist of his character, the way you do that is just simply going to be through the cutscenes and ultimately discovery as a whole. So what I'm trying to say here is, if they follow that exact same route now for every single DLC character drop, then hypothetically speaking, that does mean we could potentially have way more DLC characters be released in a much shorter time period, because again, they're not going to have their own dedicated story, and that doesn't build up to how they meet the Avengers and how they get into, well, how they gel into the story. This right here is just a case of this character popping up and you figuring out what's going on as you continue to do, well, in fact, to listen to the cutscenes as well and watch all of that stuff. But guys, that's going to wrap up this video here. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, have yourselves a ridiculously amazing day, and adios amigos. As you know from our roadmap update, the Spider-Man with Great Power Hero event comes to PlayStation players with patch 2.2 on November the 30th. So what is a hero event and how does it differ from an operation? Now, the overarching difference is scale, which impacts the way the story is told. Now, the hero event doesn't come with a story campaign in the way an operation does. So the Spider-Man hero narrative is told through a combination of cutscenes and dialogue and a chain of documents, and there are objectives for his story that unlock these documents as they are completed, which as a result unfolds his narrative arc and gradually reveals his journey in our original Avengers world. Now, as a result of that, Spider-Man will already be unlocked for existing missions rather than having to recruit him as a playable hero during his story via story missions.